Join two sisters who explore the couples that fandoms adore. We write their stories in the night, in the glow of computer light. Eyes connect, clothing flies, in our head canon love never dies. Sense looks that leave us pining, in deep forums we are mining. For this journey better strap in, because we all know that shit happens.
Welcome to the podcast that explores the couples fans can't stop dreaming about from the pop culture you love. Because when it comes to your favorite party of spunky teams, we're in deep ship.
We'll get better at that.
We'll get it.
We're your host. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Emily.
She likes nerd culture.
And she likes making podcasts, so we thought we'd join forces to make a podcast about popular online ships.
And the best ships are the ships that come from you, our listeners. So if you have any recs or thoughts on our conversation today, we're not picky. We just want to hear from you. You can send them to shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. Not only are we co-hosts of your podcast today, but we are also sisters. I feel like we always say we got to put that in the intro, and then we never do.
Nope. So you just have to figure it out. It normally just comes up.
Quite organically most of the time.
Yes.
But welcome to 2026. Did you have a good ship, miss? I was there. Because we're sisters.
Yeah, we did have a good shipness. Rachel made our very first podcast merch, and they gave it to me
for
a Christmas present, and that was very sweet.
I was like, if I had a TikTok for our podcast, I would post it on there. But yet, I don't have that.
But no social media.
Nope, no social media for us. And I actually am trying to quit TikTok as one of my New Year's resolutions. Yes. So
then how will you find out about ships? I don't know. You don't seem to know them as well anyway.
But I'm saying that's where you got to email them to shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. Again, another organic plug. Love that.
Yes, because we are not with it. But we were surprisingly a little bit with it because we did our 12 ships of Shipmas and our predictions on what we think the top ships are and will be. And I think we did pretty well.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. So some real innovators have gone in and scrubbed AO3 and done the stuff we can't do and pulled the list of what the top ships were in 2025. And yeah, we covered a few of them and we kind of predicted a few. I think, yeah, we did pretty well.
There was not a lot of surprises in even the top 10. So I was like, go us. Some of the trends that I liked were the sapphic energy of the list, right? We had Polytrix on there. I know there's several different lists and there's a lot of contention around which list is better and which list is good. I don't get the hate for the first one because that one comes out and literally everyone's like, this is garbage. Why even look at this? Don't waste your time. And I'm like, this person is doing this for free for the love of the game. So maybe cool it.
Center of the lights, I think. And they're consistent too. They've done it
and they're just like, it's garbage. Their version is garbage. And I'm like, guys, what? I would be so mad if I did that. And everyone was like, leave us alone. Go back home. But I was looking at theirs because that's the one we saw. They came out first. So that's where a lot of my stuff came from. And seeing Polytrix up so high, and that was a mid-year premiere. Nobody knew who those three gals were in January last year. So I think they might be gunning for the top spot if they keep on this energy. I also like to see our gals, Kate V up there. That's nice. And then a surprise was Wednesday Addams and Enid. We had talked about doing Wednesday when the new season came out. And we were like, nah, nobody cares that much. Apparently. They're kind of like they're kind of like a Elphaba Glinda type relationship.
Yeah, similar color aesthetics, right?
Oh, fair. And one of the surprises that I had not heard of until you sent me the list was Love in Deep Space. Never heard of it. No idea what that is.
Yeah, so it had come across my reels a few times, people streaming while playing it. It's a video game, but I think it's a specifically phone or tablet video game.
Oh.
So I downloaded it a little while ago for the purpose of playing for this podcast. But I didn't make it past the load screen, so I have to get back into it, see what it's about. All the ships are character and reader though, or you with the character. So I don't know how we'll cover that.
we've never done a slash reader, so
yeah, we'll have to see.
It would just be talking about
I'm not
the
sure what
character.
type of game it is. Is it a card game? I don't know.
I would say I appreciate that you even downloaded it and you're like, I'm gonna do this
I like games
for the show.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll give it a shot. We'll see.
I will also say I'm pretty proud of how many I knew, because I remember when we started this podcast and you pulled it up the first time. I was like, what is any of these? I'm like, I know Harry Potter. That's it. And even some of those characters, I was like, who?
Oh, yeah. So the Harry Potter ones floor me because they're just so deep into their like lore. Some of these top ships are characters that don't exist to me. One in the first list, Barty Crouch Jr., who I kind of remember. And then Evan. Like, there's no Evan in Harry Potter.
Never heard of that, man.
And then some other list have a Dolores. Like, these aren't characters.
That's
You're making
Dolores
it up.
Umbridge, doesn't it?
Not Dolores. What's Dorcas?
Dorcas.
There's a Dorcas.
Yeah, you're getting
That's not
into
even a name.
the forbidden beast and where to find them level.
Oh, maybe maybe that makes sense. But I was like, these aren't real people. But yeah, the Harry Potter, quite a few on there. A few F1 ships.
I saw that as well.
That are pretty high.
And those are real people.
Those are drivers. Like real.
That's hilarious. Okay, I seen that show on Netflix and I was like, maybe I should give it a watch. And now that's a little bit closer up my alley than some of the more forthcoming ships on our list. I can do reality TV.
Or similar. Yeah, there you go. And then I did want to shout out Heated Rivalry. Called that one.
Oh, yeah. It's starting
That's
to
up
pop
there.
up on my algorithms now.
Oh, really? Because I can't avoid it. It's everywhere still. I have to like sift through it to get to anything else.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, it's huge. It only came out end of November.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be on our 2026 roadmap as well. But
yeah,
we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because we tried to do, we have some pretty popular ones coming up. We have like a little bit of idea of what's to come. And our episode today is one of the top, 3 or 5, somewhere up there, one of the biggest ships written about in 2025. And that was not even the reason why we're talking about it. So over Christmas, Emily and I were with our collective family. And whenever we get together with them, we like to like take the pulse of the youth of America, aka we like to grill our younger cousins about like what young people like.
Yeah, like what's popular right now.
Right. And I asked my younger cousin, what are some of the big ships that are happening right now that people are behind? And she says this one that we're going to talk about, which happens to be number 3 on that crappy list of top ships. And that happens to be today's ship.
Ooh, right. And this is also like a special ship for us because this is the first time we're revisiting a property. So we've actually talked about this one before. So we had to come up with some new stuff to say.
Yeah, new angles.
Yeah. But we got to do it because it's what the people want, and it's so very timely.
I know this was the way that I was going to make my life a little bit easier because I was already on Reddit, the subreddit for this show, reading a whole ton after the big finale. So I was like, might as well make all that time count for something. And when you love what you do, you never podcast a day in your life, right? Something like that. Is that how the saying goes? But anyways, without any further ado, today we are talking about Byler, which is, of course, Will Byers and Mike Wheeler from the now concluded. Definitely.
For sure. Yeah. It is over.
No more. Don't have any more fun. We get it. No more fun. Stranger Things franchise. So what do we know about Stranger Things? Yeah,
I can go first because I didn't watch it. So I dipped out. I dipped out of Stranger Things, I think 2 seasons ago. This is the problem. Everything takes forever.
Right.
So I watch something and it's good. And then 3 years go by or whatever. And then it's the next season. And I think, oh yeah, I should go back to that. And I just never do. So yeah, things need to happen faster.
They do. I just got an ad for School Spirits season 2. And I was like, School Spirits? Like, when did that first one come out? I've forgotten everything.
Yeah, I don't know. So I watched the 3rd season. I never came back for the 4th and the 5th. But I have enjoyed watching the reactions to the final season. is anybody happy with it? It seems like no one's happy. I even investigated because I was like, is this an internet thing? Because, the internet amplifies negativity. So I listened to a podcast from NPR and I was like, they'll be,
just and fair.
Yeah. They had some positive, some negative things about it. And I asked our mother what she thought. And she, said overall entertaining, but it just didn't like hit quite right. There was, the ending didn't quite maybe match like the tone of the
rest of it, which is why everybody got so wound up, and we'll get to it. But we talk about our wider Stranger Things experience in this steady episode, right? So go back and listen to that just for that little tidbit. It's full of wonderful insights into our backgrounds, like my thoughts on season 1 and how I first streamed it, and our excursion into the Upside Down when our family did a Stranger Things themed escape room. So that's all that lore's back in the steady episode. But I wanted to keep my experience this one on season 5, which I did mostly watch all of it and definitely watched the finale wide awake, phones down on New Year's Eve. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. Like, I didn't walk away with a whole bunch of thoughts about it. I watched it and I was like, yep, that's the Stranger Things finale. But one of my favorite tidbits was how much emphasis was placed on the difference between sorcerers and wizards, which we have. I know we've discussed that on this show before.
I definitely brought it up at some point. Yeah.
And so I'm like, I have to ask, what's sexier, wizards or sorcerers?
I guess, I don't know. Because, the difference, if you're not aware, is that wizards have to learn their magic. So that's kind of like, there's drive there, right? Passion. But a sorcerer is someone who's born with their magic. And that's just cool. That's like just fun. So I don't know, which is sexier. I don't know. I think maybe still wizards.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to say wizards because of the academia side. Like they're studying the dedication to the craft.
They worked for it.
Yeah, I like that. But anyways, I just thought that was funny because I just learned the difference myself not that long ago, and I was like, I got to call back to that. But my big complaint, because like the internet, I have complaints. Welcome to the internet. I found the epilogue to be a tad bit saccharine, if I was going to be honest, or to borrow a word, trite. For those who've seen it. I don't really believe these people would be so happy or generally satisfied with their normal life. Like, you're telling me Nancy Walkham Down Wheeler went from being a gunslinging Rambina to just like a journalist? Like, at least have her be a war reporter or something. Like, she's just living her day-to-day life. I'm just, what? They went from like
small town newspaper.
Well, I think it's actually the Boston Herald. So I had to correct myself.
She's got to kind of work her way up.
Right. But they went from this like such an intense, like, if TikTok has taught me anything, is that we all get addicted to dopamine. So they went from this like adrenaline fueled lifestyle to just normal day-to-day life. And I'm like, I think they would be bored. I think that they would be kind of like, what's next? Or have like a bunch of PTSD from, I feel like a good chunk of them just mowing people down. But anyway.
I heard there's a lot of murder and they're all just like back to their lives.
Right.
The military has nothing to say about that.
Yeah. I don't think they could have made this season like 10 years ago because I don't think we were so anti-military. Like, or I don't think the general public has such strong.
Would have been fine with them mowing down like just
soldiers. Some 18-year-old kid from Kentucky, right? It's just like, what? You're just okay with that now? I mean, it was either get sent to what war were we fighting in the 80s? Gulf War? I have no idea. Get sent to that, or go to Hawkins, Indiana, and get killed by some guy who's supposed to be dead, who's also in law enforcement, but that kind of tracks. Anyways, that's my thoughts on the finale. I mean, it was cute. It was fine. I was like, I didn't walk away being like, that stunk. I was like, yay, it's done now. And it did capture the overwhelming sadness that comes with growing up. Like, cool. I needed to feel that at the end of a year. closing the chapters and whatnot. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of heavy.
Can never go back.
You can never capture the magic again.
That's kind of the episode, the whole series, right?
Right. That's
Chasing
why.
that season 1 magic.
Right. Well, that's fair. Good point. And no further ado, let's dig into Byler, which is two of the main characters. First, for the name, combo of Byers and Wheeler. Do we like it?
I mean, at least it's consistent,
right?
But I was looking at this and I was like, isn't his name Byler? Like, the Byler versus Byers is a little too close.
Right. Okay. So I was like, looking at it, I could not remember the original names because in my mind it was like Byler, Byers. It is too close. Agreed. I just thought that was his last name. I'm like, oh, you know that character, Will Bylers.
Yeah.
And then I tried to combine it a different way, come up with a suggestion as I'm apt to do, and I couldn't really come up with anything. It's just, it'd be like Mill, like. That's bad. So then I tried to get creative, and so Will the Wizard, right, is his name, and I was like, well, what do we call him? The Whistler, call him Whistler. I thought that would be funny. He's like
the Wizard and the Wheeler.
Yeah, get the Whistler.
Weezer.
Weezer, that could be good too.
Weezer. I was like Wizard with a weird accent. A Weezer.
But anyways, nothing can come close to the institution that is Byler at this point.
No.
You can't do anything about it.
Nope.
So who are the two that make up the institution of Byler? And we had talked about doing them instead of Steady originally, but Emily didn't want to do them because they were children.
No.
But now they're like 40, so we can easily talk about them. It's not weird anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of it was that they were kids, and the fact that one of the kids is actually gay in the 80s kind of made me sad.
Yeah, not an easy time.
Like, that might not have that might be hard for him, but he has since come out and everyone loved him and accepted him, and I can accept this is a world, right, where it'll be okay. He'll be fine. He'll be good.
Yes.
And people were good in real life, It wasn't all gloom and doom.
No, they moved to San Francisco or wherever the heck he went to go sit at the bar. But yeah, I mean, there's the way the story went of all the things that could go wrong, everything went pretty well in the end. The first of the two characters is a character named Mike Wheeler. And I will call him what he is, which is the nerdy man self-insert, right? He is the main character by default, ? He was a lot more interesting in the first few seasons where he was very idealistic and passionate and principled. And because of his loyalty to his friend Will, who does a little disappearing act, he becomes the de facto leader of the party, but he's also the dungeon master, so he's like that kind of role in the group. He is also described in season 4 as the heart of the entire party, and I'm not really sure entirely why at that point, because they started adding way too much. I mean, that's not Mike's fault. That's the writer's fault. It's just the show snowballed.
There's a lot going on. Got to focus on Elle's secret sister or whatever.
Or being in Russia.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Can't give the kids as much time.
Right. So that's Mike. Tell me about Will, Emily.
So we also have Will. So he is the missing kid from season 1. So what kind of kicks off, I guess, the whole story. And that's when he is taken into the Upside Down and then forms a psychic connection with the monsters on the other side. So he's one of the kids, he's one of the party members, but he's the one that's like the most connected to the like spooky happenings. And he's always got, right, they save him, but then it's like, is he saved? What's going on there? So he is the insert for the outsider. He's a nerd. He is canonically queer, and he's artsy. He wants to be I think it was like a comic book artist, but he like paints. And he's very loyal, he's sensitive, softer, more in tune with his emotions, in contrast to maybe the more brashy Mike.
Yeah, and like it's a foil to like the 80s, right? Where everybody's like toxic masculinity and greed is good. And we should say, I don't know, do we ever need to describe what this story is about? I feel like we dropped that. It's these kids that find a magic portal to another dimension. A lot of people die. And psychic kids and government conspiracies. And there's all this stuff, man. There's lots of stuff going on. You get 5 seasons of it.
Those are the two. I have issues with the name, so I'll try to keep them straight. They're just both very generic white guy names.
I literally have to pause a second and think before I say anything. I literally, and I can't, the actors, I can't keep them straight either. They look too similar. I have face blindness, and I know they don't look anything alike, but they both have longish dark hair, and that's
the problem. I like base what I think who a person is completely on their like hair. So it's if they're too similar, I'm like, I don't know.
They're basically the same person. I couldn't watch anything about Vikings. I was like, or Game of Thrones. I'm like, all these white dudes are identical. Who are these people? That's why I like stories about women, because our hair is all very different. I can tell people
Easy to
apart.
tell them apart.
Right. Okay, so these two best friends for a long time. We don't actually get to see their meet cute, but we get to hear about it, and we see it in flashbacks a few times, I believe. So what happens is that Mike, as relayed in season 2, they met in kindergarten when they were looking for camaraderie on the playground. Mike saw Will sitting by himself, and he said, "You looked lonely," and I felt lonely too. And it was the best thing I ever did, was becoming his friends. And this was in one of their many emotionally intense, intimate moments, which we'll get into. Of like that's kind of a common thing, but I mean, let's call it what it is. It's meet cute. Right? Like, that's a cute thing to, like, go be friends in kindergarten, at least according to our Rhett and Link episode. We think that that's cute.
Okay. We'll see. So this is pretty similar to next week's Meet Cute. I think it's going to go an opposite way.
That's true. I was the whole time, because Emily and I kind of split this up. I did one, Emily did the other for our first two, like, ran point on it because it was something we had watched. And I'm like, these are like identical stories almost. There's like a lot of similarities here.
There's like the childhood friend. But one goes one way and one kind of goes a different way.
Right. Well, yeah.
So these two stay friends, the best of friends.
Maybe. We'll see.
No. Well, maybe more. But yeah, it's cute. I like that. It's the best thing I ever did. Aw, that's sweet.
Yes, they're best buddies. And a lot of people think of them as more than best buddies. And where did that come from?
Yeah, so I need Rachel to tell me, because I did try to do some research. I watched quite a few videos. I typed Byler into YouTube. But I just got so sidetracked by the discourse that I watched all these videos, and I'm still kind of like, but, like, why do we even want to see these two together? Like, what is there even chemistry? Like, what's going on? So, yeah, tell me why people want to.
Okay, that's fair. Because I was like, I'm going to do my best. There's people who make 3-hour-long YouTube videos about this. So you could always, like, go and listen to them. I don't know. But, like, I'm trying to distill what they said into, like, one shot here.
Well, because some of the stuff I did see, I was like, you're really reaching. So, yeah, what are the highlights?
Okay.
What are the building blocks?
Well, very early on, we get hints that Will is gay, right? We have his dad, or hear about his dad calling him the F word, the F slur. And in season 2, after Mike, who has become romantically involved with 11, who is everybody. I feel like I don't know how much I need to explain of Stranger Things, because it's Stranger Things, right? It's like everybody's seen it. There's a psychic girl. She's got no hair. It's Millie Bobby Brown. Everybody loves to hate on her for some reason. I don't understand. But he gets romantically involved with the E.T. character that they find. And after they get into a fight, and Mike and Will are arguing in the rain, of course. This doesn't just add to the romance of it. And Will says it's not, or Mike tells Will is upset that Mike's spending all his time with 11. And Mike.
Very relatable, by the way.
Right.
For your high school, you're in high school and your friend gets a
significant
romantic
other,
partner and
yeah.
just drops you like a hot potato. Yeah.
Yep. And Mike says, it's not my fault you don't like girls. And this is so upsetting to Will that he like runs away, even though Mike tries to get him to come back. And he goes and he smashes his childhood fort and like rips up pictures of him and Mike. So like, I think the point we get here is that like we have seen that Will is like probably queer and he is obviously already, you see the emotions and the one side in this is a tale. It's a tale.
Yeah, a little too close to home, maybe close to something else that he's struggling with.
Right. And okay, to be fair, on a side here is that he was saying you're spending all your time kissing stupid girls. And like I thought that was a bit out of pocket because like Elle has saved their asses so many times. And like just be like stupid girls. You mean like the one girl that saved everybody in the world? Like stop. It's not like he's just making out with randos. Come on. Anyways, but also we can see all throughout the early seasons their deep bonds. Like Mike was the only one who was not willing, well, outside of Joyce, his mom, Will's mom, to not give up on Will. Like he was pushing for him, trying to find him. Once he comes back, Mike is seen sleeping next to him in the hospital. Like he did not leave his side. And
that's very romance coded. Yeah.
Yes. And then when they do reunite, and again, this is jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
Mike in season 4, I believe, Mike says Hawkins isn't Hawkins without Will, because at one point Will and 11 and his family, a good chunk of the group leaves and they're separated, and he's just like, it's not the same without you. The other thing is his romantic relationship with Elle is always left ambiguous. Like they never could. I think they were trying to set up a will they won't they for Mike and Elle, but it ended up being more like a will they won't they for Mike and Will. It just kind of like fed the flames for it, right? Because it's a very ambiguous. Yeah. There's a scene in season 2 where Elle kisses Mike, and Mike is just standing there. He doesn't like. He just literally statue, eyes wide open. People are like. Obviously, he's not into that. He also can't say that he loves her, which I thought is ridiculous because you fought a Demigorgon. You fought like all these villains. Like, I feel like this is not the time to be keeping your feelings repressed, but whatever. People are saying that that's a sign of him, like, knowing deep down that this isn't what he wants. Like, they send letters to each other when they're apart, and he always signs them from, and he never says, like, love you, whatever. I don't even think he ever says it. I think even at the last episode,
right? It's like as she's like going to her death or something, he won't even say it,
right? And people are like,
or her potential death. Yeah,
people are like, obviously this is not meant to be, right? There's a big thing between them, and quite literally. In many shots, that thing between them is Will, right? They have so many shots of this couple together, and then like Will's just right there behind them, like out of like he's literally physically
like me and you and your friend Will,
yeah, and he's just between them, like a couple steps back, and it's just like he's always there, right? And there's this when it comes to scene setting and imagery, the pair is also when folks are standing around or broken into the pairs, right? Coupled up, as some may say. It's always Will and Mike are together. So there's actual couples and they will be together. And then Mike and Will are together, right? So it's usually Elle's on her own. And then it's Lucas and Max and somebody else. I think it was...
I feel like Steve Dustin or even Steve Robin. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve Robin.
And so that just leaves Mike and Will.
Jonathan, Nancy, and then...
Yes. And then the two parents, Hopper and Joyce.
Yeah. Yes. So they're
all, these are the groups that do stuff together.
Right. And so they're set up like in many shots, like the closing shot of season 4 where they're like everybody's in couples and then Elle is on her own. And then another thing about this fandom is that they're like sleuths, man. They're like, they will look at every little thing to get a detail. Probably part of the problem with having such a long run is people have time. When there's 3 years between seasons, they're going to nitpick everything. So we're figuring out Will is gay. Will paints this painting for Mike and they're drifting apart, and Mike's worried about this Elle situation, why he can't say he loves her. And then Will gives Mike a painting that he says Elle told him to paint, but really Will painted it himself, and he like painted it of the party, and they're fighting a Ghidra or something. Hydra, is that the right word?
Hydra. I think you're Ghidorah, maybe? Like you're going for King Ghidorah?
Yeah, a Godzilla monster. And like Mike is the heart, right? He's the one that makes Mike the heart of the party and says that line. But he's attributing it all to Elle. So he's just like, and this whole time Mike is clueless. And then he's just like so close to confessing his feelings. Then he turns and sobs out the window. And anyways, people are like, that's, love right there. There you go. I'm not summarizing that as effectively as I could. If you watched it, you'd be like, you would understand what's happening. But me trying to talk about what's happening, I've seen too many clips right now. It's all too stirred around in there. Some more concrete evidence is in season 5. So Will sees another canonically gay character, Robin, kissing her girlfriend. Will and Robin then become secret, they bond over the fact that they're queer. And he asks her to tell him how she knew that her Vicky girlfriend liked her to get to the point where they're kissing at the hospital. And so she gives him a rundown about flirting, like playful touching and those kind of things. And so then later this season, we see Will playfully shove Mike, and Mike's like giggling about it or whatever. And then they have very many intimate moments where they look at each other and things like that. But anyways, in this moment we see Will push Mike, and Mike kind of laughs about it or plays it off. And then we see Robin looking at them like, oh no, because she's pieced it together in her head. But I watched that scene and it read to me that Mike was kind of he laughed, but he didn't reciprocate, So
right. It would be right. It's flirting if it would go the other way, because we know by now, right?
Yeah,
that Mike's gay. Mike has a crush on Will. So yeah.
Will's
it'd mean more if it was
Will's got a crush on Mike.
No, Will's got a crush on. I went back up to check. I scrolled through our notes. Okay, Will has a crush on Mike. So right, and Will's the one who shoved him, or did the
Will flirty... shoved Mike to try to get him
right. So that's we knew that.
Well,
it would mean more if it went the other way.
Right, and then Robin's watching, being like, uh-oh, because she's picking up what we in the audience are picking up on.
Yeah.
But that's not what Byler stands will say, because then they have another clip of Elle pushing Mike where he gets mad. But again, I think the context was different, because I think she was shoving him when they were fighting. She was actually mad at him. But when you put those two scenes together over a fan edit, it looks a lot more compelling. And then the other piece of this here, I'm sure I missed so many. God, this is hard to try to summarize, especially when people are so active and so into it. We'll get to more in a little bit when I talk about kind of the snooping. But this was just what happens on scene and why people like it. But off camera, off the show, the actors and the writers just won't shut their mouths about it, right? People are constantly asking them questions and they're feeding into it, right? They're very, again, like Elle and Mike, ambiguous. Mike is working through his feelings. Mike is figuring it out. His story isn't over yet. Da 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 da. So they're literally not putting out the fires. They're just letting it burn, kind of giving it they're giving
I couldn't possibly say.
Yeah, they're giving it kindling. Yeah. I heard somewhere online that they said that it took 12 hours to shoot the van scene because they just kept saying the subtext was it was too strong, that they were in love with each other or something. I don't know. I didn't confirm that. But
I don't know. That seems dramatic. It also took 12 hours to film the coming out scene. I didn't need to. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that's kind of the stuff people going into season 5 were exciting, into the finale, I should say, of why they thought that Byler would be endgame. And how many times can I say I probably missed something, but I probably missed something. And that's because
some of these videos were hours and hours.
Right. And these are just the things that happen, because there's a lot of guessing and symbology and stuff going on too, which we'll get to it, the theories. But
yes,
we have to be honest in the fact that the show did use a lot of romantic storytelling. What is it called? Grammar, a lot of storytelling, romantic storytelling tactics. Lots of long, meaningful looks, shots going back and forth, framing them together, as we talked about. And they have a lot of deep emotional chats too. There's a lot of emotional intimacy between the two. And then the fact that they added in the delaying Mike's commitment to Elle, as Lucas says in some point in season 5, I don't believe in coincidences. So everybody's saying that this delay to L had to mean something. Because somehow the Duffer Brothers got, the creators of the show got labeled geniuses. So everything that happened in the show had to have a meaning. So the fact that Mike is not going to commit to L is actually means that he belongs to somebody else, or he's having these conflicted feelings about his best buddy, which I know I could buy it. I totally fell into this. But that gave the space, that ambiguity gave the space. And like, it also made that the fans kind of fell into their two camps, which were the ones that are like, no, obviously he's with L. And the other ones are like, no, they're setting him up for Byler. And the Byler fans weren't wrong. I said that, like, you know, we could see it. I could see it. You know, they're not just in how they, even just from the source material, which I'm not really big on seeing ships, but I could see where it could potentially go that way. I always read to me as one directional, but anyways.
Yeah, and just the best of friends.
Right. And it came down to how you interpreted the sign. And that's what made these conflicts online. I think people who are in the fandom know that like the conflict was bad, right? Because it just instantly went into like attacking people's intelligence, because everyone's about media literacy now. So
yeah, you just did so many buzzwords.
Did
media literacy, that's one. A gaslight, gatekeep. No, these are just things you see like while looking into stuff. Queer bait, show not tell. I'm like, I don't think, you know, it's the
girl. Chekhov's gun. The amount of times I heard fucking Chekhov's gun, which I had to look up again, is this, and it's like, if you see a gun on stage, it better go off in Act 2. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. But they were saying like, Will not committing to L was like a Chekhov's gun or something. Like so many times was the word used.
But like, yeah, maybe, but like of how their relationship's not stable, it doesn't mean he's into his best friend.
But there was other stuff too. There was like,
yeah, I know.
Again,
it's a lot of confirmation bias or selective. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say the clues, like the setup was there. The way that they were talking about it, the grammar or whatever I saw it called was there, right? That's like all the greatest hits of what would make a relationship romantic. So you
had the hospital thing. I think they're arguing, and I think then apologizing in the rain. And I saw that he had like messed up with L at the same time, and he went to Will first to apologize.
Yes.
So it's like, that kind of stuff.
Oh, the awkward hug at the airport. Like, why would Will feel awkward, or why would Mike be awkward around Will if he wasn't grappling with his internal feelings, or X, Y, and Z? So all this stuff. He didn't, what is it? He wrote to Will more than he wrote to L while they were away. Things like that. So people are like, oh, how could you not see the setup? And then other people are saying you're reading into it too much. And so then everybody's saying you don't understand the art behind it. And then it didn't, like I said, it didn't help that the writing team was like feeding into this a lot. They kept bringing up Will's feelings. They kept talking about Mike's arc as ongoing, and they avoided any firm statements about Endgame, or like, you know, they were never like, nope, Mike doesn't feel that way about Will, or Mike is straight. They were just like, I don't know, he might, I don't know. He's only 14.
And they were trying to be like, the clues are there, right? They kind of encouraged like an over-analysis. So everyone's paying the closest attention to every little thing.
And every little thing means something. And they definitely found little things, right? They found a lot of Chekhov's guns, guys. Like, I seriously was like, if I was not in the middle of the day and I was during nap time when I'm caring for children, I would have made a drinking game, because it would have been hilarious. But like some of the things that they talked about were blue and yellow. Apparently is the pair's colors. Don't ask me where that comes from. I know it's tied to their emotional state or something, their personalities.
Oh wow.
But
I also feel like that is also relevant to our next week's show.
Yeah. Again, these things don't come out of nowhere.
Wait, no, orange and green.
Hint, spoiler alert.
I know.
If you could piece it together from that, from all the clues, we'll give you a prize.
I feel like we've already name dropped it once. So
well, no, cut that out. Cut that out.
Anyway.
We'll cut it out.
You'll be like a Byler fan.
Yes. So So anyways, and so then also like people would say that their insistence that they were just friends was also things that a lot of the straight couples used. Every single one of the couples that were featured were just friends. You know, Jonathan, Nancy, Hopper, Joyce. Well, I don't know about Will and Elle or Mike and Elle, but I feel like it was.
No, they kind of sped run relationship. Yeah, but none of the other friends were like, we're just friends.
Right. Well, Max and Lucas also had the same trope there. So they were like, of course, that doesn't mean anything when they say they're just friends, because literally every straight couple that's on the show has been just friends first. The painting, people really fed into that. This is more just a complaint that there was no payoff with it. They call that the Chekhov's gun. Drink. But then they also got into reading like the set designs, right? Where one side, there was a one-way sign in Mike's room that pointed to the closet. And they thought that I think when their dad is fighting the Demigorgon or something's going on, the closet gets destroyed. So they're like, Will's going to break free of the closet. In the finale, people are pointing to a fact that there's a picture of a bisexual author on his wall.
Jack Kerouac, that you keep written here.
Yeah. Do you know who that is? I have no idea who that is.
He's huge. Yeah, I know. He's
sorry. I'm not illiterate.
I think he would have been big at the time. It's On the Road, I think.
Yes.
I think he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he is bisexual, so there's that. But also, that's just like a kind of a white man book.
Yes. I thought it was spot on. Spot on, considering the character, considering the writers.
Yeah.
And then we also have We Can Be Heroes, which was by David Bowie, which they used to say it means a lot of different things, but it's also been the unofficial song of the Byler fandom, because David Bowie is famously bisexual. And it was played at the end, and they thought that was the Duffer Brothers stuffing their nose at the at Byler fans. And there's also the binders that Mike is like caressing Will's binder and like all this stuff with it. And look into the binders. I thought it was a really good scene when they're all walking up and crying and putting their binders on the shelf, because it's just like, yes, childhood on the shelf. It feels great.
End of an era.
Right.
Put down your toys.
Yeah. Go to college, because that means you're a grown up.
Yeah.
But okay, so there was a lot of these throughout as well, like a lot of these subtle things all over the place. And because there was so much tension, it made and we talked about the finale a little bit here, but it made the finale, there was such high stakes on it, because both sides have been yelling at each other for so long, and they just like needed the final answer of who was right, so they could be like, I was right, you were wrong. There was so much stuff about that. That was like, once the Byler's confirmed, all of you Malevolent people are going to feel stupid. And like, it was like stuff like that. And then I actually got to see it play out again in real time, because girl, I was a part of Conformity Gate. I was in it. I was sending Emily all kinds of reels. I was like, I fell for all the little hinting meetings too. I was like, how could this not be happening? So I understand, like, there's no judgment on Byler fans, because I literally was in it too. I knew rationally that there was not going to be a secret episode, but part of me thought, oh God, if there was, that would be the best television ever. I mean, even if they had constructed an ending like that and released it all at the same time, I think there was a lot of quotes from the Duffer Brothers about how the ending was going to, like, nobody was going to predict it. And it was I'm not very predictable, but it was not shocking.
Right.
It was nice.
If anything, right? People seem to be like surprised that it wasn't like sad or
that it worked out really well. Everything worked out.
Just that everyone made it out.
Right.
Yeah. So this is like bringing me back, because when Sherlock ended, this exact same thing happened. People really convinced themselves there would be another episode. 'Cause I was like, is there even a precedent for this though? Like,
well, that's why it would have been groundbreaking.
Yeah, I know. This keeps happening, but like, has it ever happened? But maybe Netflix will learn next big series, maybe.
Well, I mean, something still might happen, because there's again, every little thing is referenced.
They're releasing like a documentary.
But in one of the scenes, Holly was watching Friday the 13th, which the last installment was a documentary that ended up being like Freddy started haunting the cast and crew. So I was like, maybe there's something there. because literally Max, one of the character goes, comfort and happiness, isn't that so trite or something, like ragging on the ending that she's actually in. Anyways, I was a believer. I wanted to believe, I should say. I did not think it was going to happen because I don't think that the Duffer Brothers, let's be real. We all want our children to grow up to be smarter than us, right? We want better for them. And so this next generation of fans, they would have wrote a better ending. They would have wrote a better ending, but that's fine. And I mean, like, my little 2 cents here is, why did we expect anything else? This was written by 2 white dudes who went to film school and then had early success on a project where everybody told them they were geniuses. So of course a happy and content ending is a legitimate ending for them. They've never considered it not working out for them. All they know is success and things working out.
Yeah.
So not surprised. I guess you say in the long run. So, okay, Byler. Whoa. We're still in it here, folks, because the discourse. I'm like, what did you hear about the discourse? Like, so what has made it to yours? You forgot the details of the couple, but like, what have you been hearing about them?
The discourse. It was like you said, yeah, everything very personal. Everything that happened, they taken it very personally, and then that it didn't happen seemed very personal.
Like, it wasn't just an offense to the
like
fans; it was an insult to the queer community.
Yes, it personally, yeah, people felt personally offended that it didn't happen. But yeah, so what was it all? I don't even know. As I watched all these videos, I'm like, what are they even saying?
Right? It seems so compelling when you're listening to. Well, compelling is one word.
Yeah.
This seems like there's a lot, and then you like go to write it down on the paper, and you're like, wait, what is it? And that's why I'm like stumbling through this. I'm like, yes, the painting, but like, what was it specifically about that scene in the painting? Or, you know, like little things like that.
Yeah, that's what I was like, but why? Yeah, like, so I mean, you have one character who is gay and has feelings for his friend, and then you have his friend, but like, then why do you want that to work? Why do you want them to be together?
Right. And I think it's because the stakes felt really high because media for so long has not been kind to the queer characters, shown them at all. And, you know, and not only is it because they think it's like what's best for the story, but it's perceived as like, oh, we're going to minimize these characters in these stories because we don't want to make the general audiences feel uncomfortable, which, to be fair, that's a fair criticism.
Yes, and you have a lot of gay shipping, or like, you know, gay couples that are shipped, and this one, at least one of them was for sure.
Yes, that
right. And I think I saw a lot of people where it was like almost, it just a kind of a like, it would just be so great if this would happen, you know.
They were very hopeful. There was a lot of hope.
Yeah,
it would be groundbreaking. Yes, like Conformity Gate.
Yeah.
And I think also people were projecting onto it. Every single person I watched their video of had a story that they related to. Where one guy was talking about his crush that he had in middle school that he never pursued. He never knew if the guy was queer or not. I watched these lovely young ladies were the Byler that worked out. One of them had a crush, was in love with her best friend, and then eventually the friend came around, and now they're married with a very pesky cat that kept interrupting the video. And I was just like, so it seems like it's a very personal story, and people relate to Will. I mean, I can't imagine not relating to Will if this was something that you've gone through, right? Realizing you're different and like having to come out and just grappling with those feelings.
Yeah, I mean, just unrequited feelings, right? I feel like that's pretty universal at some point in your life. You've had a crush on someone that they didn't reciprocate, and I could see how that being especially harrowing when you don't even know if they can return those feelings, you know, if you're a queer person.
But you gotta be careful with that, because I saw some people in these videos say it's offensive to compare this to unrequited straight crushes. And I was like, is it?
I don't know.
Well, because they're like, well, this love was so great. And I'm like, I think you're just saying your love was so great.
I did see some things that were like, people are saying this is a crush, and it's not just a crush. He's in love. And I was like, man, I don't
They're also teenagers. That. Yeah. I feel like you're.
Exactly. They're like, it's like, I had feelings in high school. They were pretty intense, you know?
Oh my God. I remember I had like a crush that lasted years after the last time I even saw the person. Like, what?
Yeah.
Teenagers be putting their energy into weird places.
Yes, yeah.
So, but then, okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish
and
it
I
up.
just said Will's relatable. Someone just said, Will's my favorite character. If he wants it, I want it for him. And I was like, okay.
That's, yeah, just admit
I get
that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the, like, the sleuthing and everything is like, it's fun. Conformity Gate girl over here. It was fun. But, like, at the end of the day, I wasn't super mad that it didn't happen. Not that I'm over here on my high horse. But when it didn't happen, some of the words that got thrown around is a very famous phrase that people use for these kind of medias, and that is queer baiting, which is when you use like gay romantic interest to get support and views from the community and allies, but you never really intend to have a payoff of it, right? Is this queer baiting? I mean, a little yes, a little no, maybe, right? Because on the no side, it's a major no is not queer baiting. It's because Will is explicitly queer. He comes out. So he doesn't live in the subtext. So a lot of this queer baiting stuff is like, oh, maybe they're gay, maybe they're not. But he's gay. Like they committed to having a gay character. It also clearly defines Mike's feelings. A lot of the queer baiting stuff is like, they never really say if or not, right? They explicitly say in the last episode that they are best friends. So it's clear that at this time, Mike does not return the feelings. And also this romantic dynamic, while very beloved by Byler supporters, was not ever kind of like the angle they were using to like promote or sell the story, right? Was there pandering? Probably a little bit, but it wasn't like, I don't know, to the extent that maybe some other ones were. You tell me, Emily. This is more your alley.
Yeah, there was some, I think the like classic ships that really kind of created the phrase queer baiting, where like Destiel would be one, or like Steric, so like the Teen Wolf one. Apparently that one, they like, the promotional material was all the two guys, and then they would like not interact in the actual show, or they would or create reasons for them to be very, very close together, like stuff like that. And so that was an example of like really queer baiting, where they were like trying to lean into this like a potential like something going on there, but that never
intended,
was never going to happen.
Yeah. Which
in some of these old ones, and then you get like the showrunners and stuff, or the actors showing like leaning into it for attention, but then in person just like making fun of people who like it. It's like, that's your fans.
Yeah.
what are you doing?
So yeah, these folks may have never, I mean, and they might have considered it. I don't know. We'll get into that in a second. But they were, I feel like it was always in the best interest, in the best intention, right? Where they never were like you said, making fun of Byler fans, being like, how could they not? And maybe in their head, they believe that it might be a possible ending. They feel like people who'd be like, the story hasn't come to me yet. And so some of the ways that it does seem like queer baiting is, it's not really telling a new story, right? It's the same thing, having feelings for your same-sex friend who doesn't return it because they are unfortunately hetero. Again, it's just something that's seen over and over again, and it's asymmetrical, right? Out of everyone, for the most part, most of them do not, or most of them get some kind of romantic partner, which is insane for high school. I mean, at some point, I guess, not really. They all are seen with somebody. A lot of them get their happy ever after. Actually, no, they don't. Scratch that.
Yeah, that's what some of the people like. Oh, you wanted this relationship, but like then none of the relationships actually. It's like a lot of focus on this romance when really the show as a whole is not focused on romance like at all. Like a lot of the couples don't work out, or are not maybe, super romantic, or right, like with the 11 and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just they weren't trying to write romance really.
There wasn't a lot. Yeah, though, and Hopper and Joyce, and then Lucas and Max were the only two I think that were still together in the end. I think that's actually a big part of the 4 older kids, is that none of them were with their person they were with before. So yeah, it does seem like not a lot of the couples had their, I guess they got an answer, right? Even if they didn't get their happy ending, but they all had a requited love interest at some point. Even Vecna had a girlfriend in the play. That play that we all see the Netflix commercials for.
All the time. Yeah. Like every ad break.
Yeah. So we've seen Vecna kiss more people than Will. Poor little Will. Anyway, so at the end of the day, like it's a little bit where, you know, they did use it to drum up interest to some extent by not squashing it clearly in the narrative or in interviews. And at the end, it was poor little Will is the one who suffered for it. And even in his happy ever ending, he's not given... He's seen with somebody, but it's not like they're getting married. He's just like chatting up some guy at the bar. It's like, it was still very casual and not quite as, you know, romantic as some of the other scenes we got. So was it queer baited? Maybe, maybe not. Was it like dangled in front of us? Like you said, some of the old school traditional queer bait. If you look for it, it is.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of conversation around it. And then the thing that I can't help but think is, would we have any of this Byler drama, internet discourse, if it wasn't for the fact that that actor is actually queer? Like, did the Duffer Brothers just like latch onto Noah Schnapp's like sexuality, especially in the buzziness of it back then, to bring it into a storyline? Or they're just like, oh, this kid's just gonna play queer, so we might as well make the character queer. It's like, I just don't know if it was ever an intention, but then poor Noah got fed to the wolves because of who he is, and now it's this huge, you know, snowball thing.
I don't know. Those kids, yeah, that kind of sucks for them because they had to grow up with a lot of like cameras and microphones in their faces. So that's a lot of pressure, and not pressure, but like a lot of visibility for, they were so little.
They were so little. And that also puts him in the uncomfortable position of not only being kind of like the official gay spokesperson for the show, right? But then also the Duffer Brothers were always citing like, oh, we ran it by Noah. We ran it by Noah. Like he's like the spokesperson for the queer community, and it's like a teenager, and they're also his boss. So it's just like, I don't know. It just all seemed really kind of skeevy if you look at it that way.
He's got to be the voice of...
Yeah, and it's like, did he even want that to be a part of his character? Or I don't know. It just, I feel like this is all, they took this little snippet of like fortune that they got, and then they just like exploited it almost.
They're like, yeah, this can't be insensitive or badly done or whatever. We ran it past the one gay kid on the show.
Yeah, the one gay kid on the show who they didn't pick him. Will was probably not gay from the start. I feel like they're just like, everybody loves these kids. One of these kids is gay. Now the character's gay. You know, it's just like, I personally feel like that's how it went. I don't think they ever, because all the hints from season 1 of like his dad calling him the F slur and stuff is just like, that's just how people in the 80s talk to outsiders. You know, it was just like,
he was sensitive or a sensitive boy, and yeah, that's just, and his dad was shitty, right? So that's how you communicate that his dad sucks,
right? Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I was thinking, and the biggest take, that was kind of where I landed with this. I was like, maybe but the queer baiting, not so much unethical there, but if there is any dubious ethics, it's in how Noah was used to feed all this. But the biggest takeaway I actually had was that the fans are smarter than the creators to give us the hive mind. Maybe we all should be a part of the mind flayer. We'll come up with some crazy shit, and it's more compelling than maybe what is out there.
Right. So that the fans do be putting the work in. So there's fan fiction, fan art. And yeah, it's right. It's all out there. The story is out there. It's done. It's done for real this time. And I'm a believer in death of the author. So I think once it's out there, it's fair play. Whatever you interpret, if they didn't communicate it straightforwardly enough, then it's valid.
Up to us. Well, and they specifically kept saying things were happening off camera. So it's like, well, it's happening off camera, but it's happening on AO3.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of AO3 out there.
Yeah, this is right. Top like 5, even on the different list. This one was still up there. So yeah, there are over 110,000 Stranger Things fics.
So of those works, 22,000, like 22 and a half oh my God, why is it so hard to say numbers? 22,000. Let's just be real. By now, I'm sure close to 23,000 are tagged Will/Mike, which I thought would be a larger percentage, but I'm guessing Steve/Reader is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Because we love Steve.
Yeah.
But a lot of the themes that I saw were around them, like the big reoccurring ones were what happened between season 4 and season 5, where we're shown them all living together in the Wheeler house, and people are like, oh, I bet some shenanigans went down there. And they are all out there on AO3.
Nice.
There's also a lot of them coming back together later in life, right? And ending up back in New York and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you want to read about adults.
One is like, maybe Mike just needed more time to come into who he is.
And some time away from the life and death situation.
Right. Like, how are you going to work out your feelings when you're just trying to not die? And you're not just you, but the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's a lot of AUs where it's kind of like Stranger Things and different situations. And a lot of bonding over trauma, as well as like what they call them, fix-its, right? Where they actually made Byler happen, and coming of age, like coming of, oh, I'm actually, realizing who they are. And people out there like Byler, that seems to be the general consensus of what people like, because when it comes to Maleven, which is Mike and 11, who is the kind of like canon relationship here, there's less than 10,000. So like less than half.
Big difference.
And it's not even, it's like the context is different. Maleven kind of like plays with canon, right? So it's like more of the AUs, those kind of things. What happens if she lived, da 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 da. Meanwhile, Byler doesn't like just throw canon out the window. It expands upon it. It's showing us what's happening off scene, which I think is what makes it more compelling, because this stuff could have been happening and it wouldn't have changed what we saw. So I think that's why people are latching onto it so much.
Mm-hmm. I will say I didn't buy Maleven when I was watching it. I just wanted, she didn't need to jump into a relationship.
No.
With the first person she like ran into, having had no healthy or normal relationships.
She literally never had like a chance at life. It just
Yeah. I remember there was a scene in I think 3 where her and like Max go to the mall, and I was like, that's what she needs, right? She needs friends first. She's like some normal,
be a girl,
healthy. Yeah.
I thought it was weird that was like the shoehorn the romance from the jump there too. I was never quite on board with that. So I actually think I prefer Byler to Maleven, because like this, at least they have a lot more reason for them to be romantically involved.
Yeah.
Like childhood sweethearts and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this, speaking of our preferences, this is the part where we are getting to our revamped one true pairing score.
Yeah, so we are stepping away from do we see it, do we want to see it, is it hot? And we are pivoting to a survey that Rachel has created here.
Well, and the best part is that you guys will also be able to share your opinions as well. So the one true pairing score survey will be included in the show notes so that you guys can let us know your ratings and we can follow along. And at the end of the year for next Shipmas, we should be able to not only talk about the most popular ships, but also the ships you guys like the most. So I'm excited to see what you guys think about the couples that we talk about, right? We want to hear about you guys. We want to hear from you guys. We're just out here blabbering, but we know that if you're listening to it, you have thoughts and opinions. So take this quick survey. You can take it along with us. We're gonna go through it in real time and fill it out.
Yeah, I'm opening.
So
it
I put
up.
the link in the chat. Do you have it?
Okay, I'm in.
So the new OTP score. The first question: do you see it?
Yes, and we've made that out of 3. So we have a yes, maybe, not at all. I think I'm going maybe.
Yeah, I could see maybe as well.
Yeah.
Then so these are the
I feel
standard
like there's
questions.
stuff there, but it wasn't like on purpose.
Yes, it was more to do with the actors and like
maybe seeing what you want to see.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you want to see more? Okay, these questions are sounding familiar still. Do you want to see more of it? The I'd say the choices we have. This is weird to read out the choices. Isn't it?
We could just say what we do. I mean, I think I'm gonna say honestly, nah, fam, I'm good. This just isn't my speed, I guess. I'm not a friends to lovers person. I like a little bit more
really?
drama.
Sizzle. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. I was gonna say I'd check out a fic or two. You know, I would go and read a few of them because I feel like it is like a sweet love story. You just take out all the space aliens and whatnot in between. Okay, so this is
Our new, swoon factor. So how
is it swoony?
romancy is it? So what do you think?
I think it's solid butterflies.
I'm just thinking solid butterflies too.
Because there's definitely moments like hands touch, eyes meet, that kind of stuff. It's not a romance for the ages. I don't think they're each other's love of a lifetime, but first loves are sweet.
Yeah, right. It's more than just a fling because they have a very solid relationship built already.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the swoon factor. Now we're also going to include the chemistry factor. How many chili peppers? And I'm going to click the lowest one, mayonnaise. I got no spice out of this, and I don't want spice out of it.
Yeah, this makes it a little harder when they're younger. Yeah,
right.
And just the story, it's not right. There's purposely not a lot of romance in it at all. So
well, yeah, I mean, like it could be romantic in the sense that like they're choosing each other, saving each other, leaning on each other. But there's not a lot of this like sexy sex at all.
Thank
right? It's just,
goodness. Yeah, we don't.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So would they be good together? So if it worked out, what do we think? They're not toxic. I don't know about red flags.
No, I think they could be a standard issue couple. I think they could be good or they could be bad, It's like it would be a sweet story to how they came together, but that's where it's interesting. Like, are they perfect for each other? There's a lot of pluses and minuses, right? They do complement each other, but I feel like Mike's too problematic to really be a good partner anytime soon.
Right, yeah. He doesn't have a great track record, honestly.
Right. So I think they could get there, but I don't think they're going to be like, I don't think they're fated mates. Okay. And then the final measure here, because I feel like sometimes the romance could be good, but the overall telling of it, meh. Or if it's a story, maybe the romance isn't good, but the rest of the story is good. Pretty good. So we're the last category is the story interesting, and this is like I feel like we need to flesh out a little bit more nuance here because this is like the romance is the love story interesting or the whole
right? Do we like the
interesting?
whole media?
I think it's the whole media.
Okay, so do we like Stranger Things?
Do we like Stranger Things? Shoot, it's hard. It used to be like the highest. It used to be like hyperfixation.
That's what I was thinking. Like it's tell my friends about it, right? Because that's what everyone's doing on YouTube. Like it's all a lot of talking. A lot of discussion. So it's like, is it interesting? A lot of people are breaking it down. Really?
Right. I think a lot of people are hyper fixated. Me personally, I think it's just a good story. Like the first season, I would have like it was incredible. But after that, I'm just like, yeah. And now if I ran into somebody who I hadn't seen in a while, I'd be like, did you watch Stranger Things? It'd be like a talk about thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like I watched it and walked away from it because it's occupying my mind.
Right. So is that solid story or tell my friends about it? Because it's like I want to talk about it, but I don't know if I'm recommending it.
Oh, I think to tell my friends about it. I think solid story is something you watch and you just walk away from. You're like, yes.
You're like, I'm never going to think about it ever again.
Right. It was fun. It was enjoyable. Because we all watch and read stuff in our day-to-day that we never talk about.
Okay.
But, so I put it there. Okay, ready? We're going to submit our first Byler. Yeah, our first OTP for Byler.
I think they're going to be almost identical.
I have 45%.
So I have 40 because I was a little bit down on one. So
okay. Yep. So we're a little below average on this.
Okay.
one.
So comparing to our previous ones, 4 out of 10.
And this is different because by actually breaking it down in this, I feel like it ended up being lower. I probably would have, if we had just been talking through it, I'd be like, oh, it's probably like a 6 or a 7. But because I actually had to face some of these things,
Yes.
I feel like it added a little bit more of the nuance. So that as we go through the year, we're going to see more variation.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. So I think that's fun, and I'm excited to see you guys take it and see what you think. And then I'm sure that the fans who care will do.
Right. I think we're gonna get positives a lot because it's gonna. I would assume the people who like the ships are what seeking us out. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to see. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Some
Yeah, I'm excited. And this is the first of many couples to come this year, and we're excited for a lot because it's a new year, new ships, lots of new stuff going on, new name in Deep Ship, woo, new cover art, new mugs, coffee mugs, family, for new merch. Yeah. All right. Needless to say, we're excited to hear from you on the OTP survey and at our email. shiphappenssisters@gmail.com. Send us the couples you want us to cover. We basically do fan recs right away.
If we find, and we'll see the email
if we see them. Well, awesome. Why did I say it like that? I'm like a Midwesterner with the phone. Well, as I said, share your thoughts. We want to hear from you. We'll do your couples.
For sure.
We'll
We'll do them.
Yeah. Yes. But most of all, we're excited to be right back here in another 2 weeks telling you about another couple because you best believe we're going to be
in
deep
ship.
Ship.
Ship happens.
We'll work on that. The next family get together, we'll
we'll
rehearse
figure
it.
out what angle we're gonna take there.